Jazz, over to you.
Good gravy. Talk about bigging up on an intro. Blimey. Well, yes, I'd love to meet Michelle Obama. So round at yours for 7. Hey, guys, hello. Let's not butter any bread about it, as my nan would say. It's pretty hard going at the moment. I get that. I am incensed by the fact that, first of all, let's be honest, you've shown your true colours, haven't you, during this lockdown? You've shown who you truly are. So much more than an educational establishment, so much more than an academic body. You've shown up and put out and stood with your children, your parents, your community, your staff. You've actually provided a space of certainty throughout all this uncertainty. You've been able to stand with people, not just doing things to or doing things for, but stand with people, sometimes to your own detriment, giving away yourself in order to stand with people around you. And you have not received the right amount of recognition or acknowledgement or thanks. You have had the opposite, in fact, with Gavin, I'll see you in court, Williamson. And now this whole thing of, oh yeah, just complain to Ofsted. Listen, there's a lot to be cross about. There's a lot to be depressed about. There's a lot to be sad about. And this 2021 story that you're telling now is a story you're going to be telling for the rest of your life. And I will not let frustration be the theme tune to my 2021 story. I mean, my theme tune will be anything by Beyonce, Crazy in Love, etc. But it will not be living through this frustration, because when you're in an old people's home, right, no one is going to want to sit with you. If your 2021 story is, I just did a lot of Zooms in my underpants and drank gin from 2 o'clock every afternoon. I mean, it's all right for a short period of time, but it's not sustainable. And so even though in the times when you are facing adversity and navigating chaos like we are now, in those times, that's the time when not putting yourself under this ridiculous pressure to get everything done, but actually acknowledging that you are human first, and that your weaknesses, your frustrations, your tendencies, your getting angry, getting stressed, crying, all of those scars are your superpowers. It's what makes you human. It's what makes you human as a leader. And it's what's going to allow people to see that you are showing them not how to just stiff up a lit British it. Yeah, let's not worry about it, but actually how to navigate chaos by saying this is what I do when I don't know what to do. This is how I am when I don't know how to be. And that is the biggest thing right now. I feel deeply aggrieved and offended that leaders are not getting the support they need. I feel every time I hear someone from the government talk about schools being closed, I do actually want to punch somebody. But here's the thing. I want change more than I want to be right. I want to be right a lot. Ask my husband. But I want change more than I want to be right. And this time is an opportunity for change. And we all want, especially in education, we all want things to be better, but we don't want anything to change. I mean, it's those two kind of opposite thoughts we hold at the same time. But right now, you've got people who you influence, who are looking to you and seeing you stand, not crumble, not give up, not walk away. You might have moments, but you come back. And that in itself has a huge impact. You are creating legacy for people. You are going to be a key factor in other people's 2021 stories. I'm not trying to diminish anything, because I feel like leading my own protest riot, but obviously we've got to be 2 meters apart and I can't be bothered. But, you know, I feel like I feel so distressed and angry on behalf of leaders. At the same time, there's very little that you can actually control. You can control how you show up. You can control that. You can control how you react. It doesn't feel like you always can, but you can control that. You can't control what the government are going to do next, what the press are going to print, what the staff are going to say. You can't control any of that, but you can control you. And that is going to be the heart of your 2021 story. I want to make a plea in particular about parents, because I know they're a pain in the backside. I am one, and I know how hard it is. I spoke to a head just before the last talk I did in Birmingham before we went into lockdown. And she was talking about, you know, a parent who was just driving her mad and bringing a kid in, effing and jeffing in the reception. And I said, does that parent know that you're for her? And she said, well, she knows she's supposed to not come in and swear. I said, yeah, that's different. Does she know you're for her? And she said, well, she knows she's supposed to come to meetings. I'm like, yeah, I know, but does she know you're for her? Because if people don't feel that you're for them, then they'd be an idiot to give you any loyalty or anything at all. And at the minute, you are doing so much and giving so much out there. I think it's really important at this time to be honest about the fact that you are working so hard, because you are completely committed to fighting for the highest good of every single child, every single life of every single child that is in your school. And because this is a real time for, you know, parents are invited to complain to Ofsted, and on the whole, the majority of them say, well, actually, my school's fantastic. And I think at this time, being able to say to your parents, you know, we're for you, it just gives them that door to go, oh my gosh, no one else is. It's you. Because this idea of schools being free childcare and you should stay open and just risk your own lives to look after my kids, that's gone. That's gone. But the narrative is in your hands. And I don't want you to let the media or the government or disgruntled parents write your story for you. It's yours. It belongs to you. Also, during this time, if you want to give up, lie down and just put your head in the ground, good, because you'd be weird if you didn't. And that's great, but it's not sustainable. So I want to make a plea for you to make sure that you're not doing this alone. You know, usually when I was in leadership, my partner hated my job because I gave the best of me to it and hardly anything to him. And it was right. It was true. That's what I did. But and that relationship finished because I just couldn't sustain it. But over a short period of time, you can sustain anything. But this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. It's been going for almost a year. We are going to continue going. And if we get like enraged and aggrieved at everything that the government and everyone else does wrong, it's just going to direct our energy and draw out of us to focus on things that we have no control over. Stand. That's what I want you. I want you to stand. I want you to know that there are people that you are trusted, that you are loved, that you are revered, that you are relied on, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. So don't be worried to show your true colours. Don't be, unless you're an idiot, in which case stop being an idiot. But don't be worried to show who you truly are, because honestly, right now we are lacking human first leadership. We are lacking leadership that says, I will give you the correct calibration of support and challenge. I am not your mum. I am not here to mop up. We're all going through stuff. I will support you to the point where you can go out there and give your best. But also I'm talking about challenge, and this is a challenging time which we get through together. You do not have to do it all. It's not all down to you. The most important thing, I want to give you my 3 R's of resilience, and these are 3 R's of reinvention as well. The first one is responsibility. You take responsibility for what you're responsible for and nothing else. It's really important. The second one, reach out. This feels hard because we're like, yeah, we're here, we're reaching out. You know what I notice about leaders is that we get to a conference and everyone's like, how are you? And they're like, yeah, fine. Because if they said anything else, they'd cry. This is incredibly difficult. You are meant to be struggling under the navigation. You're meant to feel overwhelmed. That's what the situation calls for. So own that and reach out to others. If you don't need help, offer someone else help. But if you do, make a request, and make a request with pride, because that means you're committed to seeing things through. You can always tell how much people care about their school by how much they care about themselves. The last R is reframe. That's not like, stiff upper lip. That reframe means how long it takes you to get out of a hole back to your full fat self. It's when you get knocked, what's the journey back to being full on, and not letting your own blind spots and broccoli in your teeth affect everyone else. So that reframe thing is really, you can't do that unless you take some time out. You can't do it unless you stop. You've got to be able to fill yourself up so you're overflowing so you can share with others. I want to, it's an honor to come here. When Simon, I actually offered to come, and I get inundated with requests to speak for free all the time. And most of them I have to say no to because I have children who eat sausages and they aren't free. But this was a no-brainer to offer to come and speak to you, because no one is going to give you the accolade or the thanks that you deserve. But know that there are children right now, who are benefiting from the back, whose lives are irrevocably changed because they happen to be in your school, because you showed up for them, because you didn't do stuff to them or for them, you stood with them and with their families during this time when no one else is there. There are children whose lives will be changed because of what you do today, because of who you are today. And I'm speaking so passionately because I am one of those kids. I should be dead. I should be in a psych ward. I should be lost in a world of sex exploitation and drugs, and I'm not, because 5 everyday heroes just like you stood when it was difficult, when they didn't have to, when they could have walked away. They just stood. Simon, I've got a resource that I can give you that's free, and I will get in massive trouble if anyone. No, I won't. I do what I like. Hold on. It's in the chat box. For those of you who haven't seen this before, this is what I use with corporates, like Google use it, the Senate in America use it. It's massive. It's a really expensive program. I navigated, I called them and said, look, I'm promoting you and I think you should give it to me free for educators. This is a great leadership tool. And I know we've all had stuff where we get told we're a colour or an animal or blah, blah, and it doesn't mean anything. This is really about how to hack humans. It's about how to draw your team so that they have autonomy and that they feel able to be 10% braver. It's about how to connect with people who are really different to you. So it brings in that kind of like, where are we stuck and where are we struggling? It helps you to stop undermining your own influence, and it gives you the tools you need to stand. It's an assessment. You take that assessment, you can give it to all your staff, give it to anyone, staff partners, anyone related to being an everyday hero in education, it's yours. That assessment gives you like a Netflix for the soul, 16 videos, 2-minute videos that tell you about yourself and help you communicate with others. I have not seen a team or a relationship fail to improve after doing that. So that's a gift. Take it, use it, don't use it, whatever.
Thank you so much, Jaz.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And one more thing to say, that I'm doing like videos for schools. So if you want one, and this is only available to you, it's like a 2-minute personalized thing. You can share it with my TED Talk. Reach out to me on social media, get in touch through Simon, and I'll gladly do that for you.
And thank you so much, Jaz. That was amazing. Let's get Jaz a Zoom clap. Let's get
jazz hands. Give me jazz hands. I like a bit. Oh yeah.